Hello, gents, ladies, and other pals. Narae has been out, not really even a day, I don't think. And I tried her out a little bit in Conquest and Legendary Conquests, played a little bit off screen, and she's really good. She's by far the best character in the game. But we have to ask ourselves this question: should you summon for Narae? First and foremost, I'm going to say it is a video game. Summon for whoever you want to summon for. Let me make that clear, right? Summon for whoever you want to summon for. You don't have to summon for Narae. If you want to go for Narae, I think you should go for Narae. She's a great addition to your ice teams, to any ice characters. She's just like, she legit makes every ice character super busted, right? Just going over what you can get in the summon. You can get Narae, which is really good. Sarah, I think is low-key underrated. She's actually pretty good. Ellie's really good. Liho, I haven't tried out as much as I wanted to, just as a solo character. I'm going to do that later in the new Legendary Conquest mode. But like, the banners for the characters are fine. We are not at a point yet in the game where like the 4-star characters
Got anything worth hunting?
like are bad to get necessarily. I think every 4-star character is good to get. Maybe with the exception with Daisy. I think Daisy
Got anything worth hunting?
just isn't viable to use right now. But yeah, Narae is pretty strong, specifically because of her main thing, right? When she uses her special skill and it's enhanced, right? She deals ice affliction, so she lowers ice resistances just from her special skill alone, which is crazy, right? That is just crazy. And her special skill, which gives a 50% damage to ice damage boost, just base, and increasing special skill damage by 30%, and these both last for 14 seconds. She also gives range teammates, so your Minas and your Angels, your Pennies, special skill damage by 80%, which is alright. Alright. I do say if you want to run this character with Mina, it's gonna be okay, right? But Mina is not the best partner for Narae. I wouldn't even say Mina isn't even top 3 partner for Narae, which is crazy, right? You'd assume that Narae and Mina, they're sisters, right? Surely they be really good together, but not really. Again, this is all with the assumption that you only have her at A0, right? I'm not accounting for her having any of this, right? This is just base Narae, base stats. I think she is a fantastic character. I think she's the best character in the game for what she provides and just how many teams you can run her with, right? You can run her with Sarah, run her with Cloud. Every and any ice character that comes out in the future, you would always want to be running this character, right? Over Francis. Every single ice character in the future, unless they make a new ice support that's as strong as Narae, but until then, Narae is always going to be your best bet, right? If you want to summon for Narae, just keep in mind that you're obviously going to be kind of limited to the teams, right? Narae is really good if you want to just ice teams, right? Because she really benefits ice teams a lot more than Francis, right? So if you want her, and base Narae is a lot better than base Francis, because a lot of people don't have Francis at A4. If you know what I'm talking about, if we just go to Francis right now, the reason why Francis is as good as she is because base, her attack, she gives you, I believe it's her on the fly, right? On the fly diagnosis, she gives you 17% attack damage, just base attack damage. So attack gives you damage to all of your abilities, all your stuff, right? And then with her A4, she gets to 35%, which is obviously really good. But Narae,
Listen.
that's just base ice damage is plus 50%. So she's really good with your ice teams. I think you should summon for this character because whenever there's a new ice character that comes out, or there's gonna be more ice characters, this character was always gonna be a great partner for them because just the damage you can give to ice teams and whatnot is always gonna be super duper valuable. And this is actually something I wanted to touch on: the artifact. Believe it or not, the artifact and Narae, like between these two, if you have like Narae and the artifact together, I actually think the artifact is a lot. I think this artifact is actually stupid broken. But let me let me go over the artifact, right? So when equipped by a support character, grants the following effects. When the equipping character grants a teammate a shield, their basic attack damage increases by 12%. Hold up, I'm not finished. If that teammate is an ice damage, what? Is an ice character, not an ice damage. Damage dealt with basic attacks increases an additional, keyword, damage dealt with basic attacks increases an additional 20. And their crit damage increases by 25%. Let me just hold on. Let me just go down. She gives attack and defense with this artifact, which is fair. Right? Let me just break this down. So pretty much when you switch out, right? When equipping character grants a teammate a shield, right, their basic attack increases by 12%. So let's say you switch out to Ophelia, she gets 12%, right? So even if you are using Mina, right, Mina's gonna benefit from this. She's gonna benefit from this basic attack damage, which is pretty good, right? But what makes it even better? If you have an ice character, so let's say you're using Ophelia, their damage increases by an additional 20%, and their crit damage increases by 25%. With these newer crit caps being increased, with crit rate being increased from 70 to 100, or from rather, sorry, and the crit damage cap being increased from 200% to 300%, crit damage, in my opinion, is the best stat in the game. It will give you so much more damage. It's just insane, right? I think this artifact is crazy. I think it's crazy. It's super good. And max, which obviously a lot of people won't have max, so I don't really want to go off of that, but just this alone, you can get 32% attack damage. Basic attack damage, and it's really the crit damage that makes this artifact so strong. Okay, final thoughts. Should you summon? Yes, you should. You should summon for Narae. Alright. Even if you don't have like a good ice team, you don't really need like a quote unquote good ice team because she just makes ice characters good. Right? She just makes the teams good. Especially if you have this artifact, which I think you should. I think this is like, you should really go for this artifact. I'm not gonna go for any more until I get deeper or get a little bit more starlight, because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got shafted a bit. So again, summon who you want to get, but I feel like this character's value will always be just overwhelmingly just over the top. Because whenever a new ice character comes out, Narae will always be right there. Whenever a new ice character comes out, you're always gonna run this character with them. That's the good thing about supports, that I think they did really well on this character. I know a lot of people don't like how she's kind of locked, or let me say this. A lot of people don't like the fact that she is not really the best partner with Mina, and I get that. I see that, right? Like, Narae is the sister, right? Narae is the little sister, Mina and Narae are kind of supposed to be like hand in hand, but I feel like this way, it's a lot better giving more teams rather than just locking her with Mina, right? In my opinion, I think that's better for the fate of this character than just throwing her with Mina and calling it a day. But yeah, she's a great character. I like her kit. She's pretty strong. Not pretty, really strong. And I just can't wait to try out more teams with her. I hope y'all enjoy it.